Episode 6 of the league is here, and we are getting down to the nitty-gritty of year number 2. Weeks 11 and 12 on the docket. We are going to decide who plays in most of the conference championship games. We're even going to have some special surprises. You're going to find that out pretty quickly. But it is a jam-packed episode yet again, so you're going to want to strap in, get a little snack, get all comfortable, because we got 40 minutes of nonstop action coming your way. Starting with Fresno State taking on New Mexico. The Bulldogs 1-8 so far this season. If you've been paying attention, Coach Hardy Sonnenberger Jr. has not exactly had the warmest of welcomes here in Fresno. New Mexico absolutely dominated early on. They would continue to do so for the entire game. Second and goal right here. They're going to run play action. And you see it on the field. What is this Bulldogs defense doing? What do they practice every week for this to continue to happen? 34-7 now. They're finally going to get something going on offense. And oh no, he stepped out of bounds. It would later come back, and they would not score. You just can't make these things up. Like, this is sad to watch, and they're going to add another score. Bulldogs lose by 20, and let's just say that the boosters and the athletic department is not too happy with the 5-17 record that Sonnenberger Jr. has posted over his first 2 seasons as the head coach of Fresno State. So much so that they have decided to fire him with 2 games to go in this season. It is no secret that this program has gone downhill ever since Sonnenberger Jr. took over, and everybody involved in the football team was fed up. They didn't even let him finish out this season. We will see what happens to him next year. If any other school wants to take a flyer on him, I don't know if I would want to be the school to do that. But it is official. Sonnenberger Jr. is the first coach fired in the league. Took 2 seasons, not even 2 full seasons, for him to get on up out of there. We'll see where he lands next. Let's get into some actual games now that will matter for the future of the league. San Jose State taking on Air Force, trying to get back in the win column. 5-5 after starting the season off 5-2. That run right there definitely helps, but Air Force would answer back with a touchdown. Bananas come right back down the field and score themselves, and then they would extend that lead and actually went on a very big run here to end the game, and even put up some points late in this game to make it look like a little more out of hand than it actually was. McCoy on the ground to find the end zone. 40-17 is your final. San Jose State finally wins a football game. Felt like forever. Nevada taking on Oregon State. Beavers trying to play spoiler here, and it's not going to really work. Nevada playing good football as of late, trying to make a last-ditch push for the Mountain West title game. Unlikely, but you never know. And the smooth moves from the running back, finding the end zone. 17-0 now as we enter the third quarter. Let's make it 24-0. This ground and pound attack is feeling itself. Wolfpack back in the red zone, and they're looking to do some more damage. Just really put the pedal to the metal. Clarkson rolling out of the pocket on the run. Where is that safety going? You didn't see the ball? Big win, and Nevada is going bowling. San Diego State trying to cement themselves in the Mountain West title game, taking on Wyoming. That's a touchdown early on in this one that's going to help them get to that goal. They really brought in Malachi Nelson for the sole reason of making this team a championship contender in the Mountain West, and he has done everything that they have asked him to do. He's top 3, I think, in yards in the country. He's top 3 in touchdowns in the country. The guy has slung the rock this year, and he was playing good football in this one. 21-18 now, first and goal, late fourth quarter. Whoa, my God, what a throw. Big win for San Diego State. They get to 8 wins on the season, eyeing that illustrious double-digit win season. Colorado State and Utah State taking each other on in some mid-level Mountain West action, trying to get to 6 wins. Bowl eligibility is really what we're looking for here for both teams, and that is an errant throw, already down 7-0. This one's getting taken back all the way for a touchdown. Now down 14-0. What do you have in store for me, Aggies? They have a touchdown that was blocked up beautifully. And they're back in goal to go, finding the end zone on a QB sneak, making it a 3-point ball game as we enter the fourth quarter. But the Rams find the end zone themselves, extending this thing back to 10. And the defense needing to get a stop to have any prayer is going to absolutely shit the bed. I mean, what in the world was that? They give up the touchdown, and the Aggies take the loss here in Week 11. Need a Week 12 win to get to bowl eligibility. Week 13. They're on bye next week. Ohio looking to continue to run through the MAC conference. 8-1 on the season, 14th. Looking to prime themselves for a run at the college football playoff, and Tim Carpenter's playing about as well as you could ask at this point in the season. That throw was beautifully placed on the money, and then he's going to do it one more time here across the middle of the field, going up 37-7 after an Eastern Michigan touchdown. They come right back down the field, finds his man Chase Hendricks over the middle. Big win for the Bobcats as they secure their spot in the MAC title game. Oklahoma hosting Bowling Green. Coach P. Rizzi trying to pull off an upset of all upsets, and unfortunately it didn't go the way that they wanted it to, but it did go the way that everybody kind of expected them to. That interception right there is an ugly one. It's going to get taken all the way back for a touchdown. That's our second one of the game if you're keeping track at home. Now up 14-0 after that. Going to find the end zone again. It ended up being 59-3. Yeah, Bowling Green is at a tough go of it as of late, unfortunately. Toledo and Buffalo. This one was a surprising game, and I'll show you why. But we start here in the second quarter, in Buffalo finding the end zone, making this a 7-point ball game. I mean, Toledo is hoping for the college football playoff, and that ball is picked off, and he's got green for days. Buffalo trying to pull off the massive upset and keep Toledo out of the college football playoff. That is a tie ball game. Excuse me. It is not a tie ball game because the extra point was missed. Toledo back on offense. They're not going to throw a pick six this time. Buffalo would answer with a field goal, but right before the half, Toledo with the ball. Clock running a little bit, but Madsen is going to line up and throw this one over the middle. A few broken tackles later, and this big play offense explodes yet again. 28-16 is your halftime score. And coming right out of the break, if I'm showing you a kick return, it's probably a touchdown. That's right, Jonathan Paylor, your Heisman Trophy front runner at this point in the season, takes this one all the way back, and this was kind of the beginning of the end. Buffalo stayed in it as long as they could. Very valiant effort from Coach Hugh Janus and the Bulls, but just not enough. A little battle on the bayou as Louisiana and UL Monroe are taking each other on, looking to crown themselves the champion of the Boot State. Louisiana starts with a touchdown, but the Warhawks answer, tying this thing up at 14. But that's Cam Whitehair finding the end zone, showing off some power and some elusiveness. And I apologize for the stream here. You'll have to talk to Coach Hingle McCringleberry about that. But I couldn't not show this play because it's essentially when the tides turn. This pick six basically got them the win. And you'll see right here, they did add some insult to injury to salt this game away. Cajuns, one win closer to bowl eligibility. What a turnaround this season has been for Hingle McCringleberry. Old Dominion taking on App State. This is Coach Mike Roth versus Coach Noah Cavan. If you remember last season, Noah Cavan and the Monarchs were able to beat App State, but that was when Coach Mike Roth was suspended. So this time, he's trying to get his lick back. But that defense, I don't think they got the message on that one. Kanye Roberts did, though. This guy is a freak of nature. He's teleporting. He's making guys look silly in the open field. He's scoring touchdowns like he usually does. Mountaineers get the ball back, and they are in the Monarchs red zone. And this is going to be Chambers rolling out of the pocket. He's going to make a couple dudes miss. That ball's on the ground. And we're going to take it back. It's only a lineman. He's not going to stop him. What a turn of events. 14-point swing for the Monarchs as they look to try and make the Sun Belt title game. This win is imperative in order for them to do so. But App State ran right back down the field and found the end zone to tie this thing up at 14. Not going to keep them down for very long. After a great kick return, though, Old Dominion answers right back. That was a left hook if I've ever seen one. But the Mountaineers throwing an uppercut right back, tying this thing up back at 21, and then they would kick a field goal to take the lead. Old Dominion with the ball, down 3 after an App State field goal, but not for long. A little check down Charlie action. Roche showing off his nose for the end zone. Another App State field goal later, and they would get the ball back again. QB sneak to take the lead. Now 36-28, App State back in the red zone. And this is going to end in another touchdown. Mountaineers roll 64-28 with a great second half. Liberty and Missouri State taking each other on in some late season CUSA action, and it was Missouri State getting out to the early lead with that throw right there. Now late in the second quarter, Missouri State threatening again. It's the tight end out in the flat, making this a 14-3 ball game. Again, they're in opponent territory. Liberty's defense just did not have any answers in this one. This would be the cap on the night. 24-3 is your final. Missouri State, one win closer to bowl eligibility. Jacksonville State and Delaware, and then Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee State to find out who is playing in the Conference USA Championship game. I'm telling you what, we've got a great set of games here, and Jacksonville State started off strong with the kick return touchdown. They would get the stop, and listen, if you're familiar with this rivalry, Coach Mo Shiesty cannot beat Coach Lou Brown. It has been a monkey that has plagued him and can't get off his back for years and years and years. Now down 14-0, defense gets another turnover, and the offense capitalizes. At this point, I think Coach Mo Shiesty may try and kill Coach Lou Brown because he cannot beat him otherwise. Touchdown right there for the Blue Hens, cuts in the lead a little bit, but the Cox answer back with a score of their own, and then another interception. There were so many of those. Not so many went back for the touchdown. That one did, however, 42-7. And then I'm just going to sit here while you watch this play unfold. It's just unfortunate what went on. I mean, like, you can't make that throw across the field. Big man touchdown. Yeah, 70-28 was your final. Jacksonville State, barring any crazy results, is going to the Conference USA Championship game. Who their opponent will be is determined by this game and this game alone. 3rd and 9 for Middle Tennessee State. They're just going to throw this screen out to Jeremiah Cobb, and he's got plenty of room. Whoop! Makes the man miss on the spin move, and he's going to go 91. Is that a 3? 93, 91 yards to the house. Defense gets the stop, gets the ball back, and then Jalen Mbakwe on the RPO just going to run across the field, outrun everybody, make this a 2-touchdown lead just like that. They get the ball back again. Jeremiah Cobb for the second time finding the end zone. We are now up 3 scores. Middle Tennessee State is on their rival, the biggest rivalry in Conference USA, may I remind you. But if you thought Coach Chuck downfield would be blanked, you are sorely mistaken. They get on the board there, but Middle Tennessee State answers back with another touchdown. The RPO is working, though. Another bubble screen touchdown here for the Hilltoppers. This thing's back down to 14. Maybe they can come back into this one. They just need to get a few more stops. But Julian Duggar's got other plans. Oh my God, that thing was on the money, and Jalen Mbakwe is going to score for the second time today. Middle Tennessee State goes on to win 59-28 and punches their ticket to a rematch for Jacksonville State in the Conference USA Championship game. Let's go to the scoreboard recap. Nevada picking up a big win over Oregon State, getting to that illustrious 6-win mark. San Jose State getting to another, I think they get to 6 wins as well. Yes, winning 40-17 over Air Force. So another bowl game there for Coach Crowley. San Diego State is just owning the Mountain West right now with another win over a Mountain West foe. This time it's Wyoming, 10-point win there at home. Utah State unfortunately falls to Colorado State yet again. Just can't seem to catch a break when they're playing the Rams. And then obviously the big one, Fresno State losing to New Mexico and then firing Coach Hardy Sonnenberger Jr. I don't know if they let him on the plane to come back. He may still be in Las Cruces. I'm not entirely sure. Haven't gotten the full story on that. In Conference USA, we just saw that Middle Tennessee State and Jacksonville State both picking up big wins. And unfortunately for Western Kentucky and Delaware, they still cannot defeat their, I don't know if I want to call them boogeymans, but they can't break through and get to the conference title game. Missouri State, so close to getting to a bowl game. We'll see if they can close out this season on a high note and do just that. In the MAC, UMass, Western Michigan. That is a win for UMass. Bowling Green taking on Oklahoma, could not defeat the Giants. Lost a big one, but it's okay. They'll bounce back next week. Buffalo, all the credit in the world to the Bulls. They held their own against Toledo. They did lose by a big margin, but they were in it for most of the game, and I think that is the thing that everybody is most proud of. Ohio, big win over Eastern Michigan. Don't have to look at that one too closely. Just a complete domination by the Bobcats. In the Sun Belt, we had just 2 games. Louisiana with the big win over in-state rival ULM, and then App State. I mean, we talk about them all the time. They just continue to dominate the rest of the competition in the Sun Belt when Coach Mike Roth plays. Haven't lost a Sun Belt game in which he has coached. I don't know if they will. I genuinely don't know if they will at this point. It seems like he's got everybody's number. So we will see what happens, but let's get into our next week of action. And we're going to start with a team that we didn't get to see in Week 11. That is the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers at 6-4. They're already going bowling. So we're going to check in on London Humphreys, trying to keep pace with Jonathan Paylor in this Heisman race. That was a great touchdown catch right there. Let's add another one. We split the defenders on the crosser over the middle. This game was super exciting as well. Obviously, it was because Coastal can't defend anything. I mean, they can't stop a nosebleed to save their lives. But London Humphreys, just a demon on the offensive side of the football, cannot be stopped. And then this play right here, the reason why I'm showing it to you is because he became the single season receiving leader in Division I FBS history with that catch right there. Unbelievable stuff from the Heisman potential winner. I don't know. We'll see. Toledo, the other Heisman favorite, Jonathan Paylor, in action here against Penn State. This is a big one, right? If Toledo loses this, they're out of the college football playoff contention. If they can win it, they still got a shot with the MAC title coming up. And they're in a great spot, up 7-3, but this 4th down is crucial, and it's Jonathan Paylor in the end zone, extending this thing to 11. Just a massive conversion for the Rockets. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they let Penn State get behind them. Penn State could do that in real life. James Franklin will probably still have a job, if we're being honest. But even after getting the 2-point conversion and making this a 3-point ball game, it was not enough. Paylor again finding the end zone. Another Penn State field goal didn't do anything. Toledo finding themselves victorious coming out of Happy Valley. App State taking on a 1-win Marshall team, and it's the 1-win Marshall team that gets on the board first. But they were not able to stop this App State offense on their first drive of the game, marching all the way down the field and finding the end zone on the RPO flat read. Is this Nevada or is this App State? It's a good question. Marshall on the next possession finding the end zone. That is how you block up the all-out blitz. But again, the Mountaineer offense could not be stopped. And yes, this is Nevada. No, there's no way this isn't Nevada, because this is exactly what Coach Hey Would You Blow Me does. Coach Mike Roth, are you stealing their playbook? After a few stops, App State gets the ball back in the middle of the 3rd quarter and capitalizes with that touchdown right there. Then they force another 3 and out, and they're taking this thing back to the crib. That's right, we've got ourselves a house call. App State coming out with a little bit of a scare, but unscathed as they take the win 28-21. Louisiana taking on South Alabama, needing this win for bowl eligibility and to stay alive in the Sun Belt title race. We'll see if they can do that. It's a 7-7 ball game, but not for long. The end around catches the Jaguar defense sleeping, and they convert. Now 21-7 after another Louisiana touchdown. This thing is looking like it might get out of hand. The defense could step up. You're looking at, oh, no. Okay, maybe not. Maybe defense will not step up. I mean, we can't really expect this defense to. They never do, right? 24-14 now, and that's going to cap this thing off. 31-21 is your final. Louisiana going bowling and staying alive in the Mountain West. We've got a little Sun Belt and MAC action here as ODU taking on Ohio in a big game. If ODU can win this one, Ohio is knocked out of playoff contention. Both teams know it, so you knew you're getting the best. It's Ohio answering a touchdown with a touchdown. 3rd and 6 now for ODU. We're going to throw this one across the middle, and that's Tank Hawkins. If you know anything about Tank, he's got speed that you have never seen. This guy is an Olympic sprinter with the way he's able to break ankles. That was a quick and easy touchdown. 14-7 now. Run up the middle. That is 6, and we're tied yet again. ODU again on offense, trying to keep serve. And this is a massive run by Taj Bullock, but the ball comes out. That is not what the doctor ordered, but it's picked up by the Monarchs, and they've got plenty of room to run. They're going to get a touchdown out of this. Are you kidding me? Under the 2-minute warning. What a play. Maybe the top play of the year. But the defense could not stop the Bobcats. They go right down the field in just a little bit of time and find the end zone. And then right out of halftime, they score again, and this would be all Ohio in the second half, 63-42. Ohio maintaining that great level of play, especially on offense. Buffalo looking to pick up a win against MAC bottom dweller Kent State, and they would find the end zone first. Kent State would answer back with a touchdown, though. 7-7 now, 3rd and 14 for the Bulls. Right over the middle, break a tackle. That is another touchdown for Buffalo. Add 6 to the board. Let's kick a field goal as well to extend this lead even more, and then we're going to be back in the goal-to-go situation. Find the end zone. Let's get right back down there. 4th quarter now. QB sneak. I don't know if he got there, but we're going to count it anyway. Kent State finally finds the end zone yet again, but it's not enough because this Buffalo offense kept scoring. And it's not over. We're going to be petty today. We don't score many touchdowns here at Buffalo, so we're going to put as many on the board as we can. That is a crooked number. We love to see it for the Bulls. FIU taking on Middle Tennessee State, and the Blue Raiders on 4th and 2, just throwing it to Jeremiah Cobb out the backfield, and he is going to outrun the entire Panther defense for the touchdown. 7-0 now, back in goal-to-go situations. Tavion Galloway on the out route. Julian Duggar throws it right on the money. 14-0 now. Still 14-0. Defense gets another stop. We're going to run some motion. That's Talon Shetron in motion, and he's going to pull out the spin move, and that gets 2 defenders, and there is nobody left to stop him. That is 21-0 now. 21-3 after FIU is able to get a field goal on the board. 4th and 7, maybe get a stop here. That's not going to happen. Cameron Lacey, touchdown, 61-13. Middle Tennessee State continues to win. Let's go to El Paso now, where UTEP is hosting Western Kentucky Hilltoppers with a early safety up 2-0, looking to add to it, maybe go up 9-0. They would do exactly that. That is a beautiful, beautiful moon ball. You'll take that every single time. Now up by 6, and that is just an errant read. I mean, you can't throw it late on those, and it was so clear that they were playing man. The guy's not even fast. He takes it all the way back for a touchdown. Just Helen Keller could make a better throw than that, if we're being honest. Doesn't matter. Short-term memory. Go right back down the field. Add another touchdown to the board. Now up 19-10 after another field goal. And scoring is going to continue. I mean, we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop scoring because you told us so. 27-17. Now defense does allow another touchdown, but it's okay because offense got their back. They will put up a lot of points there in the 4th quarter, winning 54-23. We're going to stay in the Lone Star State as Delaware's taking on Sam Houston. And you know what they say about Delaware. They always have close games no matter who they're playing. So even when you see a 2-win Sam Houston team on the schedule, you know it's going to be a good one. But Delaware gets out to a 14-0 lead and now up 14-3 and threatening to score again. Mason Kelsey is going to show off the arm. That's probably not the best throw, but it works. Hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. In that case, it was. Kelsey going to show off the legs. This dude can run, and this is going to be another touchdown. And wow, Delaware game that wasn't close this time. I don't think this is real life. Somebody pinch me because I don't believe it. Missouri State needs one more win to get to bowl eligibility. They play Kennesaw State this week. They play Delaware next week. So they got to win one of those 2 games. Up 7-0 against Kennesaw State, a team who is historically bad in this series. They're looking pretty good. Now up 14-0. I'm just spitballing here. Missouri State wins this week. They win next week. They win their bowl game. That's 8 wins. That's 8 wins for Missouri State, the team that started out not great. And as I was doing that, they gave up a touchdown. Okay, that's fine. 17-10. You're okay. You get a touchdown buffer. You get a stop here. Just goal line stand, force a field. Okay, maybe not. Okay. Maybe getting low. Wait, what do you mean they're down now? Okay, I need you to step up on the offensive side of the ball. Okay, we do. 24-20, just get a stop, and we can be hunky-dory. We're living in the... Okay. Well, it's times like these where it's hard to be a Missouri State fan. I mean, what are we doing? 4th and 10, and that's the throw we're going to make? Okay. I mean, I guess we're not going bowling. You got one shot, one opportunity. Missouri State, Mo State, I need you next week. Nevada, oh my God. This run game, man, when they turn it on, they really turn it on. Good gracious. Have some respect for the defense. Have some sportsmanship. And I only had 2 clips because the stream, as you can tell, cut out. It wasn't great. 35-10, Nevada continues to roll. I mean, they're playing some of the best football, I think, of anybody right now. It's phenomenal. How about a team playing really good football? 8-2 San Diego State taking on UNLV, and that's a disgusting juke move and just unnecessary probably. But I like stunting on these fools when we're up. Malachi Nelson showing off the legs. I mean, we've seen his arm all year long. Dude is a dual threat quarterback for a reason. He can run it a little bit too. The defense not playing their best right now, so it's going to be a tie ball game. It's okay, though. When you have former 5-star quarterback Malachi Nelson, who plays much better in this game than he does in real life, that was a perfect throw, perfect play call. I mean, mesh can never fail you, right? I mean, mesh is probably the best concept in this game. And we're going to run it again. Touchdown, Tyson Chavez, 42-21. I tell you what, the Aztecs, they're playing really good ball right now. Scoreboard recap for you. Nevada, we just saw them. That was a big win for them. We just saw San Diego State. That was a big win for them as well. Going back to the MAC conference, the Mid-American. Ohio, big win over ODU. Listen, that ODU offense knows how to score. The defense still needs a little bit of work, and that's what we're going to focus on for next season. But we've already reached all of our milestone goals. We can maybe still make the Sun Belt title game. To be determined. Buffalo, big win over Kent State. Maybe Hugh Janis doesn't get fired. Maybe the Jane man does not get fired. That would be huge. Toledo, big win over Penn State in Happy Valley. I mean, let's talk about Toledo for a second. That offense only scored 21 points, but the defense showed up and played phenomenally. I mean, 14 points to a Penn State team that's pretty good. You'll take that every day. We already talked about ODU. Coastal Carolina still can't figure out how to play defense, but it doesn't matter when you got a guy like London Humphreys who's scoring 100 touchdowns a game. Guy is, I mean, if it wasn't for Jonathan Paylor, it would be the runaway Heisman favorite. But unfortunately, Paylor does exist. Louisiana, another big win against South Alabama. They play ODU for a shot at the Sun Belt title game next week. That one is going to be freaking phenomenal. App State survives a scare against Marshall. They used Diddy Magic. They used Devil Magic. Whatever magic you want to talk about, they used it. They got the win. That's all that matters at the end of the day. In Conference USA, Delaware finally blows a team out. We got to give a round of applause for that because that was awesome. Coach Mo Shiesty let it hang a little bit in that game. Middle Tennessee State continues to dominate the lower tier Conference USA opponents. Missouri State, unfortunate loss in the pursuit of a bowl game. I really don't know if they're going to be able to do it against a Delaware team that's got a lot to prove next week. We'll have to wait and see. And then Western Kentucky, big win over UTEP. Listen, they're just trying to, finish the season strong because the bowl game is out of the question now. So they just gotta hang loose, right? Just let it all go. So now that we only have 1 week left, we'll take a look at what is projected for the conference championship games. And we basically have everything decided at this point in this season. Jacksonville State is playing Hawaii next week, so they don't even have a conference game, so they're already locked in. Middle Tennessee State has a win over anybody that is even close to being in that discussion for it, so they'll be in no problem. So we've got a little bit of a rematch there. The 49-48 thriller that was in, I don't even know what week, but a couple weeks ago, we get a rematch of that same rematch as last year's Conference USA Championship game as well. App State has clinched the Sun Belt. They probably did so in week 4. Let's be honest, they did so before the year even started. And they will play one of 3 teams, Georgia Southern, ODU, or Louisiana. If Georgia Southern wins, they're in. If ODU wins, they would need Georgia Southern to lose, and they would be in. Same thing with Louisiana. So whether or not Georgia Southern wins is massive for that ODU versus Louisiana game. Could have some title implications on the line there. San Diego State taking on New Mexico. San Jose State and Boise State did not go back-to-back, at least appearances. Kind of unfortunate when you think about where both of those teams started. So we get San Diego State versus New Mexico. And then the MAC, we get a rematch of last year and also a rematch of the 14-13 Autism Bowl that happened back in week 4. That was the game that had 12 interceptions. We'll see if they're that bad again this time around. I doubt it, but at least we get a rematch. And it's not a rematch of last year's championship game. If I said that, I'm sorry. It was Ohio UMass last year. Ohio back in it again, looking for 2 in a row, taking on a Toledo team that felt like they should have been in it last year, but they lost to Western Michigan. So they beat Western Michigan this year, which gets them in, and they will be looking to take this thing outright. We've also got to talk about the coaching carousel. The first domino has fallen. Hardy Sonnenberger Jr. has been fired. I can either do the Donald Trump version or the Vince McMahon version. I prefer the Vince McMahon version. It seems like there was a lot more vitriol in his voice when he said it. But I'm not trying to have that kind of hate in my heart. I just feel bad for the Fresno State fans. There were a couple games during Sonnenberger's tenure that you felt like, okay, this team can be competitive. But then there were a lot of games where it's like, okay, what is the plan here on both sides of the football? This year specifically, the defense kind of fell off big time. I don't know. Like, I don't know why it took so long for them to fire him, but they finally did it. We will see where he goes, but we'll also see if anybody takes the Fresno State job. It is one of the better group of 5 jobs. When you talk about resources available, when you talk about location, when you talk about the fact that the roster is already pretty good. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but we got to talk about the first domino to fall, and that was this one. There's going to be some other jobs, P4 jobs, that look like they're going to be coming open as well. So a lot of stuff is going to change here in the next off season that I need to keep track of and need to make you aware of, so that you don't come into season 3 and be like, what the hell happened to everybody? So yeah, we'll start with this. But that is all we have for episode 6 today. We went kind of fast because I'm going to be honest with you, I've fallen behind a little bit, and I got some catching up to do, so I wanted to make this video a little bit shorter than it usually is, cut out some things like player of the week, conference standings, just explain it to you instead, just because everything was basically decided in this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you on the flip. See ya.